Crafty Bones. Quick update on some things that I've been working on. I'm trying to get some whips done. So I was trying to finish this blanket I was making with the Studio 72 clearance yarn from Hobby Lobby, but it was the clearance for either last year or the year before. This is an extremely heavy blanket, but this is what we ended up with. It's 20 different colors, and there are three groupings of each color. Like I said, it's really heavy. As small as it kind of is, it's pretty heavy. Anyway, with what was left of each skein, I then made this little thing, just a little lap blanket. It's super soft, this Studio 72 yarn is. I think I talked about it on a couple of different videos. It is an acrylic yarn. I'm not gonna go into it now. And then I started working on this crochet along that I had started before, well before I had hand surgery. I started it last year, January, February, somewhere in there. And it is from 2021. It is the Summer Blossom crochet along from Ron Strom. I did get a few more rows on this one. This is mostly big twist. The mint color is Red Heart with Love, and the white is the Michaels brand. I can't even think straight right now. What is it? And then I was making the companion with it, Impeccable. That's what it's called. This one is several more rows larger. This is what I was working on. And a friend of mine contacted me, sent me a message on Facebook and asked me, hey, can you make this? And I said, okay, probably. So let me check and look for the pattern. And she sent me an Etsy link, and it's a paid for pattern. So I did buy that pattern. It is designed by Marina Camber. And this is it. It's 3 gnomes. And this is the one that my friend asked for. It's the lilac gnome. So there's lilac, a narcissus, and a chamomile. And she's a European designer, so she used a European yarn. And I substituted blanket yarn, but she had us using, I Googled the yarn that she used. What was it called? Let me see. Yarn Himalaya Dolphin Baby or Yarn Art. And it's a blanket yarn. It's a 6 bulky. And I verified it multiple times that it's a 6 bulky. And she wanted us to use a 5.5 millimeter hook. So that's what I was using, was a 5.5 millimeter hook. Let me tell you, I was having some pain, mostly in my hand that I didn't have surgery on, just crocheting a 4-weight yarn, not doing amigurumi. Oh my goodness, doing amigurumi with blanket yarn and a hook that's 3 sizes too small. Well, 3 millimeters too small, not just 3 sizes, but that's 6 sizes, right? Yeah, it was stressful on both hands. So I'm going to recover a little bit for both hands. I really wanted to just stick my hands into an ice bucket every night. It was that bad. And then the flowers that are in each of the hats, those flowers there, they were a 3.5 millimeter hook, at least for the one I did. One of the other ones, it was a 3 millimeter hook. I couldn't even imagine doing blanket yarn. So I had to go out and buy the right colors. I went to Joann, and they had brunette blanket yarn in both the baby section and the regular section. Excuse me. It's like almost 10:30 at night. They had them for $8.99. So I went out there, and then I decided I'm going to get some velvet yarn too, which isn't a 6 bulky. It's 5 bulky, but those were also on sale for $8.99. And I bought ones to do, I think this gnome here, because he's only 2 colors, where all the other ones, this one is 3 colors, and this one is 3 colors, yeah. Because he's got brown, green, yellow. The beard, I'm not counting. The beard and the skin, I'm not counting because I bought yarn specifically for those. But this one has got green and blue, and then just the face and the beard color. And so instead I bought black and gray, and then a flesh tone to use. And I have some Premier Chenille from the Dollar Tree in the yellow and the white that I can use to make the flowers, so I didn't bother buying those colors. I bought the white. I bought the white because of the beard. So I bought black and gray and white, and then I have the yellow for the flower because it's only the center of the one flower. I'm not going to do that right away. I need a break from amigurumi before I try that again. I don't mind amigurumi on a normal basis, and there really wasn't a lot of sewing in this. When I started the pattern, I'm like, well, that's an odd shaped gnome because it starts out very pointed. Well, what you're doing though is you're working from the top down. And so you start out kind of semi-pointed, and it says to stuff tightly, and then you work your way down and it's a rounded out bottom. The problem I had is once I got the hat done, the hat did not fit. And I tried to use the same tension. I definitely used the same hook and the same type of yarn. So I had to squeeze and finagle, and I felt like I was birthing fiber fill down into the body until I could make a point out of the what was essentially the head. And I still had a hard time getting it on. I'd show it to you, but I've got it packaged up to send to her already, so I'll put some pictures in right here. Okay, so I don't know if you can tell, but at the very top where the hat is, it's you can see that it's very taut. That's not stuffed, that's just the head. And I think it would be beneficial in either using a smaller hook to do that part and then going back to the bigger hook to do the bottom, or when it says stuffed tightly, ignore that completely. It is a good pattern though. It's easy to follow. It's I've only made the one so far, but it's easy to follow. The instructions are US terms. When you download your PDF, it comes in German and in English. I learned basic words in German. I was not even going to try to read the pattern in German. Had I realized what it was, I wouldn't have even downloaded the German. It's fine. But it was $10.87 in US dollars. I don't know what that is in euro, but it was $10.87 US dollars plus tax to download the PDF, and it is 20 some pages. Yeah, 26 pages. But with the download, there are links for, let me see if I can find one. There are links for sections that you may have a question on. Let me cover up the rest of the pattern. But so there's a QR code there that you can run your phone over, or there is a live hyperlink on the download that you can watch. And the videos are on YouTube, but other than that hyperlink, it's locked. It's a private video. And it's not big sections. There's one or two sections. I think one was a transition for something, and then it was transitioning from purple to green on the arms, and then the other one was for the flower itself, because there was it once you watch the video, the sentence for the pattern makes complete sense, but before you watch the video, you're like, what is she talking about now? So, but the most of the links are actually on the flowers. I think there are, yeah, I mean, it's not, the other stuff is pretty straightforward if you do amigurumi. I would say it's probably an intermediate pattern. And that's only because you may have to make adjustments in the sizing depending on your tension. But I would say intermediate. But it's a good pattern. But like I said, it's $10.87. Technically, that's 3 patterns, but still I don't usually spend that much on a pattern. I usually spend around $2, $2.50. I think the most I spent on a pattern was $4.99. What's nice about this pattern, though, obviously you're not allowed to give the pattern to anybody else, but she does have her first pages that it says this pattern is for your personal use, partial or full copying, resale, and or transfer to a third person are prohibited, but the toy you create with this pattern you can use as you wish. So in my mind, that means if you needed to, wanted to, chose to make these as a what am I gonna say, a craft fair item. Did I just spit? I think I just spit. If you want to make these a craft fair item, she doesn't have a problem with that. I will say that she said it was 100 grams of this, or 120 meters of this Himalayan dolphin baby yarn. And the body that I made, it used a decent amount of a full skein of blanket yarn. It was probably 2/3. Let me see if I can figure out where. So this is my, what's left of my yarn for body. It's completely hollow in here. So maybe 2/3, but I know it's more than half. Probably not a full 2/3. So keep that in mind, because this is a 220 gram ball. So she was pretty close as on the estimate. But again, that's using a hook size 5.5 for a yarn that has a recommended hook size of an 8mm. I think that's what that says. Pardon my old eyes here. Yeah, 8mm. And speaking of old eyes, the PDF, it's got huge print. Loved it. I didn't have to, a lot of times I have to, if I print a pattern, sometimes I have to go back to the computer and enlarge it. My desktop will enlarge, my laptop will enlarge. I did not have to do that. The pattern, the PDF is quite large. You can convert the PDF to a Word file, but frankly, it takes up so much hard drive space. It's not really worth it. But that's what I've been up to. I do have one more blanket that I'm going to make for the baby shower that I last talked about, but that's because she decided finally on what color she wanted other than pink, and it was pink and gray. I didn't really make pink and gray, so I am going to make one pink and gray blanket, and I will bind it in silver. And I think you saw the unicorn fabric I used before. It's going to be unicorn fabric and that dark magenta trimmed in silver or gray blanket binding. But I forgot, I was going to do it today, but I forgot to buy the batting. So I'm going to go tomorrow and buy batting so that I can make that blanket. Her shower is the 5th or the 6th, and I go back to work on the 5th. I'm on vacation this week, and literally I've just been making a gnome. I haven't been able to work on it much, just like 15-20 minutes at a time, and then I have to go do something else. But it's done. I am delivering it tomorrow, and that's what I've been up to for this last week. Thanks for stopping by. Happy crocheting.